The Taupo District Council chamber for our May meeting. Good afternoon, councillors, afternoon staff, members of the public and members of the press here this afternoon. It's a full agenda, and I'd just like to call on Councillor Truman from Mangakino to give us a blessing today. Thank you, Councillor Truman.
I te atua kaharawa ki a tata mai koe ki a mātou I tēnei rā, mana ki te a mātou mahi katoa, I runga te ingoa, Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Councillor Truman. Right, item number 1. Are we okay with the live streaming, Mrs. Nian? Good as gold, so we're going worldwide. Apologies, number 1. Do we have any apologies? No, a full house. Good to see, so no apologies needed. Item number 2, conflicts of interest. Any particular members have any conflicts of interest of any of the items today? That being the case, we'll carry on. Item number 3, confirmation of the minutes of the ordinary council meeting on 26th of April 2017.
Worship.
Yes.
Councillor
Williamson.
Place nice to record. Councillor Hickling withdrawn the local government conference. I'll be attending in his place. The conference. Okay.
Thank you very much, Councillor Williamson. Councillor Park.
Yes, thank you. 5.9, number 2, page 9. The council approved the attendance of myself, councillors Kingy and Truman, along with Andy Hema, to the Emergency Management Conference in Wellington. Due to it being annual plan hearings, councillors Truman, Kingy and myself find that it is more important to us to be here doing our job that we've been elected to do, but thank the council for your support.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Park. Any other items of clarification on those minutes? That being the case, could I have a mover, please, for those minutes? Moved by Councillor Park, seconded by Councillor Williamson. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Against? Carried. Item 3.2, extraordinary meeting, council meeting on the 16th of May. Any matters arising from those minutes?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Councillor Body.
Mr. Chairman, it's with reluctance that I bring up what I'm about to bring up, but I feel in good governance, in my job as a councillor for this district, I must. The first issue I wish to raise in regards of that particular meeting, and this is not overly serious, but we had a comment made by Mr. Minhana in regards of our increase, our leasing buildings off-site would not increase or have an effect on rates. I think it would be quite easy to say that if you're spending $800,000 because you've had a good year, that's actually $800,000 that can't be spent on, say, around about at Arrowsmith Street or out at, we're right about at, what's it called? Norman Smith Street. However, my real concern, and this comes down to the good governance part, was that when we sat down for that meeting, we were given a number of papers. I think it was a bit over 30 pages. One of them was 22 pages long, which was from Dowdall and Associates that did the air monitoring. Now, when I went through these letters, I became very, very concerned about the misinformation that had been given out about this particular building. And first, I'd like to refer to the letter from Brown and Bates, employment lawyer, civil litigation. On the second line down, they state that they have not seen any reports or documentation, but understand that the expert concluded that the asbestos is currently in a hazardous, friable state. My first question is, where did they get that from? Secondly, I was more concerned when I read the letter from the PSA in regards of the PSA's deep concern about staff still being domiciled in this building. And when I read the first paragraph, it stated, "I'd like to express in the strongest possible terms the PSA's deep concern over the discovery of friable asbestos in the Taupo building, blah, blah. And now disappointed that some are questioning the need to vacate the premises. This will have a direct impact on the health well-being of our members. I want to know who were those councillors that were questioning the need to vacate the premises." So what I did, I rang Glenn Barclay, the National Secretary, and posed the question, where did your information come from? And the response rightly was from our PSA delegate. So while I was in conversation with Mr. Barclay, I said to him, "Do you realise that air monitoring has been done and there's no asbestos danger in this building?" And basically his words, exact words weren't no. I then raised the question with him that if he's expressing concern in a letter dated the 16th of May, why was he not informed that the asbestos, in brackets, supposedly was found in August of last year, and why hadn't his members here or himself raised those issues? So then what I did, I went into Dowdle and Associates website, and what concerned me was this first statement in their website in regards to asbestos, and I'll read it because I think it's applicable in this instance. Often when we mention of the word asbestos sends people into a state of panic, which in many cases is not justified. We believe the state of panic is often compounded when members of the public, buyers, vendors and even tenants have been subject to what can only be described as scare tactics, either through misguided media coverage or by third parties wishing to gain this misconception. So having read that when I was at home, I thought, what's my next course of action? So my next course of action was to contact the two companies concerned, ClearSafe and Dowdle and Associates. After a conversation, let's start with Dowdle and Associates, who were the ones, the document that we had a look at, the 22 pages on the 16th of May, and I'll read out what the asbestos survey manager states. In reference to our telephone conversation concerning the asbestos issues, I have reviewed the report Dowdle and Associates performed on the Taupo building. The materials identified are non-fibrable materials, which mean fibre is not easily released unless the material is damaged or tampered with. I believe in this instance there is a small amount of damage to some wall claddings at low level, and they were shown in those photographs. This material should be encapsulated/repaired and the bare edges paint sealed, and then it poses no problem and can manage in situ. If there are ongoing concern around the damaged material, then removal of that material would be the final solution. The other asbestos containing material were deemed to be in good condition and therefore can be managed in situ. I believe air monitoring was conducted on the site and they were clear below the workplace detention limit. It was 0.01. As you are aware, there is abundant asbestos containing material used in all sorts of applications to a vast amount of buildings of all types nationwide. As long as the asbestos containing materials are kept in good condition and are identified and managed according to the Health and Safety at Work Asbestos Regulation of 2016, then they pose no immediate problem. But here to me is the crunch. It is, in my opinion, as long as the identified asbestos is renovated and managed in accordance with Dowdle's report, the building is safe for occupation. So I then had a conversation with a girl called Sana Robinson. She's the manager of ClearSafe. And after the conversation, she put in writing the following. Remember, this is the one that did the big report that was in here with all the fibrable areas, non-fibrable areas, because there was only one fibrable. This was her response. As per our telephone conversation earlier, at the time of the survey, the asbestos was observed to be in a condition considered safe for normal activities to proceed. Air monitoring would confirm this, and it did. And then they go on about asbestos management plan, because that's now on our risk management. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to say to you that I believe we've been inundated with scare tactics without due facts. We have not had any of the three companies that have done surveys on this building come and address us. I tried from day one to get air monitoring done. That finally took place just prior to the 16th of May. So my recommendation to this council, rightly or wrongly, is that we put on hold any further attempts to leave this building until we ascertain where we're going to rebuild. If, by public opinion, we decide to rebuild here, exiting the property is no problem. If we decide to opt out and go somewhere else, these buildings are suitable for continued occupation. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Boddy. Any other questions, clarification of these minutes? Questions, queries?
Can you discuss that or not?
Will we discuss this matter?
We're confirming the minutes here, so if there's some, if you're wanting to discuss any actual matters pertaining to these minutes, I'm happy for that, but yeah.
So what do we do to the chair? What do we do with that information that hasn't been circulated, obviously? But
Most councillors are aware of the situation. But we've canvassed the situation.
Well, Mr Chairman, I would suggest that if there's a councillor here that wants to question what I've just said and question the minutes they have a right to, these councillors, I believe, have not been informed fully of what's wrong or right with this building. You've had the reports, but no one has examined them fully or contacted the companies concerned, hence the results that I've received.
That's your belief. So you're entitled.
Mr Chairman, are you challenging ClearSafe and Dowdle Associates that it's my belief or their belief? Tell me which it is.
You're entitled to your belief, like all the other councillors are entitled.
It's not my belief, it's what I've been told by the experts. I'm not an asbestos, nor are you.
Thank you. All right, any other questions or queries or points of clarification of these minutes? No? Okay, could I have a mover for these minutes, please? Moved by Councillor Kingy, seconded by Councillor Hickling. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Those against, carried. All right, 4.1. Okay.
Sorry, just through the chair, I know we've accepted receipt of the minutes, but Councillor Body has raised a matter arising from those minutes. Are we going to discuss that matter? I would like an explanation in light of the letters that Mr Body has had from these companies that we don't need to vacate the building, and they've put it in writing. Is that right, John?
Correct.
Are we not going to have a discussion about that?
The minutes have been confirmed and that there's no, it's just the correctness of the minutes, I think.
So our standing order state that the only topic that may be discussed at a subsequent meeting with respect to the minutes is their correctness as to what was said at that meeting. My suggestion is that if you wanted to discuss this further, it would need to be subject of an agenda item. Separate agenda item to a further meeting.
Is there any appetite for a separate item of the agenda? No.
Well, I find it absolutely incredible that councillors decided to ignore the advice, in fact it's advice from 3 companies that were involved in this. I didn't introduce ward demolition, to sit there and not ask for it to be fully discussed today before we spend more ratepayers' money that may be not needed if we do not build on the site.